Hey everybody, Todd Jeffries here, along with Melinda Brandt and Matt Mathias from Honor Flight, Austin Honor Flight.
Good morning, Todd.
Good to see
Good
you.
morning.
Yeah, Melinda.
Great to have you here.
Good to see you. So we've got our annual Operation Thank You that we love because Honor Flight Austin is such a huge part of the city. Gives so much to the veterans. I know personally, I've gone on flights with you and have thoroughly enjoyed it, and it just really is an amazing organization. And I got to tell you, my dad has also done one of these flights. He still talks about it. Every time I see him, he's always asking me how you guys are and what he can do to help continue with these flights.
Matt, tell us about Honor Flight. What is it? Some people may be learning about it for the first time.
Sure.
What is it all about?
Honor Flight is an all-volunteer organization based here in Austin for our Austin chapter. And we take World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, and now even Cold War veterans. So basically, if someone served from 1975 all the way through World War II, they qualify to fly with us. And we take them to Washington, D.C., for what we call the trip of a lifetime. And I think your dad would attest to that.
Absolutely, he would. Like I said, he's still talking about it. It is an amazing trip. It is a whirlwind of a trip.
Yeah.
But it means so much to those veterans, and not just because they're going and they're seeing the memorials to the wars that they may have served in, but they're getting to sit with other people that have experienced the same thing that they have, and it makes it easier for them to talk about their experiences where, you know, for us that have not experienced that, it's not as easy to be able to meet them where they are, and it opens them up a lot, and it does wonders for them.
Well, you're talking about something that we've seen happen over and over again that we never expected, and that is Honor Flight is in the healing business. Hearts and souls and minds are healed. I mean, we get letters after every flight from veterans, but also from their wives a lot of the times. One letter not too long ago said, "I don't know what happened in that 36 hours, but I got my husband back.
Wow.
He hadn't slept through the night in 50 years, and now he's back."
Got some healing out of
Oh,
that.
and those letters just keep coming after these flights.
How many flights so far for Austin Honor Flight?
We have flown 78 flights.
Wow.
78 flights. We're approaching 3,000 Central Texas veterans. We take veterans from the 15 county area around us.
Men and women.
Men and women. We just had an all-female flight on our last flight. And but we will take World War II or Korean War veterans from anywhere in the state. So if you know any of those that are out of the Austin region, we'll take them too.
And there was a World War II, well actually I think there was 2 or 3 on the flight that I went on. Absolutely amazing, but speak a little bit, because some people may think that if there's health conditions or they're not able to really be very mobile, that they wouldn't be able to take this flight, but that's not true.
That's not the case. We have an entire medical team evaluating each and every application and veteran. And Dr. Nancy Glass, who heads up the nursing program at ACC, heads that team, and they know every medication that the vet needs. They know whether they need oxygen, and we take a medical staff along that's appropriate. Sometimes that's 2 EMS personnel and a nurse. Sometimes that's 3 or more. So it's a very specialized program, and Mayor Leffingwell, who's our vice chairman, likes to say, so far we brought back the same number we've taken. We brought back everyone so far.
A couple of weeks ago, my wife and I, we were on vacation in D.C. and ran into a group of Honor Flight folks. And I thought, oh, I wonder where they're from. And I walked by and look at the badge. It says Austin Honor Flight. Got to talk with some of the EMS that were there. And everybody has I don't want to say a chaperone, but a guide. Somebody goes with them.
We call them a guardian.
A guardian to get through this process. Talk a little bit about how emotional that is sometimes. Because whenever I went to the Vietnam War Memorial and I saw men my age putting their hands on their fathers' names, it's incredibly moving. I can imagine for these veterans what it's like.
It's not only for the veterans, but the guardians. They come home changed because there's a new appreciation for what has been given so that we can live the lifestyle we live. I mean, everyone says freedom is not free. And after you make this trip with veterans and you see the tears rolling down their faces, and at some point in the trip you always hear, you know, I've never told anyone this, but, and then they let their story go, and it's just like this freedom that occurs in their hearts and their souls that's so emotional.
When we arrived in Washington and we stepped off the plane, I could not believe the ovation the people in Washington were lined up, cheering, whistling, laughing, photographers all over, and it really, it brought tears instead of smiles. I couldn't believe that after all these years, that they were still thinking about us.
The guardians are not necessarily a spouse, and that's by design.
By design, we, unless there's a legitimate health need to have a spouse or a nephew or a son, we take guardians who are not related, and that allows the veterans to start making friends, comrades, buddies, and they start talking with each other. If it's a spouse, they tend to take care of each other.
Right.
And if it's not a spouse, the veterans build bonds, then many of them for years afterwards.
In a short period of time, you see a lot in DC. Run us through the schedule, because it's pretty
man.
busy. They're pretty active.
As you know, it's full of surprises. The trip's full of surprises,
Yes.
so I'm not going to give them all away.
Right.
But we start on Friday morning with a processional through the Austin airport that I'll just leave it at that. But it's
beautiful.
It's beautiful and moving. It really is. We fly to DC. That Friday night we have a banquet. The veterans get to tell their stories, but I hold on to the mic because sometimes those stories get out of hand.
And I have to say that probably was my favorite part of it, was the banquet, and our lady, World War II veteran,
Miss Mary?
Miss Mary, who was the center of the whole trip. Everybody, all the vets were fawning over her, all the guardians were fawning over, as they should.
Right.
But she was my favorite because she said she had a dirty story to tell, and he was like, I am holding this mic because I don't know what's about to come.
And she's 100 years old.
Yeah, she is, and still drives, by the way.
She still drives.
She said, but it was one of the purest dirty stories I've ever
I love
heard.
it. That's
It
great.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
So Matt, tell us, if somebody wants to participate, how can they get involved, not only as a guardian, a volunteer, but donations, but also, a veteran?
Sure. Veterans just go online and donations too at honorflightaustin.org. That's honorflightaustin.org.
And some of those veterans may need help with that. If it's your father or your grandfather or mother, grandmother,
Yeah.
that's, you could sign someone up for that.
But you can do it all online.
Do they need to be in this area?
15 counties surrounding Austin, unless they're a Korean or Korean or World War II veteran.
And then
We'll take
expands.
them from the entire state.
Yeah.
But anywhere around Central Texas that they can hear your voice, we'll take them.
Yeah, and annual donations through Operation Thank You is very important for you guys.
Operation Thank You through KLBJ AM has been really important to us. Last year you raised over $25,000 for us.
Wow.
And that is just so meaningful to be coming from the people of Central Texas. And we haven't said it, but I did say it's an all volunteer organization, but it's also the veterans contribute nothing. I tell them only thing they need their wallet for is to get through security at the airport.
Covering buses and airfare and hotels and
Hotels,
food, everything's
meals,
taken care of.
everything is taken care of.
And they're safe.
Through donations.
If folks are concerned, they're safe. There's
Oh.
quality people that are there to keep an eye on folks.
Yeah, those guardians, we tell them, each veteran is the president, and you're to stick with them 2, 3, 4 feet away all day, all night. You're with your veteran, making sure they're safe.
Absolutely.
Don, and it is time for Operation Thank You. We like to do this every single year. It's a drive to bring money in for Honor Flight Austin. We've got Matt with us, who is really the big push to get honor flights, our veterans, to Washington, D.C. Let's tell them where we're going to be, when we're going to be there, and how they can donate.
You know what? We're going to be at Lamb's Tire and Auto, thank yous to KLBJ.
Next
AM,
Friday, all day.
All day.
And
At 183 and Breaker Lane.
that's right. And you can actually make a donation online. We'll provide all the information below, but the website is honorflightaustin.com.
.org.
.org. Honorflight Austin. Let's try this. The website is honorflightaustin.org, where you can make a donation. And be sure to join us with our live broadcast next Friday, all day long. The morning show, the afternoon show, taking your donations. We make it easy. Folks can just pull
Drive
in
by,
and put their money in the
drop
bucket.
off.
It is a tax deduction. If
You bet.
if you get just go through every coworker's desk, grab all their change and bring it down. And it's a big help. It's a big cause because we're able to get a lot of veterans on an airplane and get them to our nation's capital, so they get a chance to visit and tour the war memorials that were built in their honor.
It's a trip of a lifetime.
It's a very emotional time. It's a great give. And Matt, thank you. You're gonna be out there with us?
I'll be there with you.
Maybe some veterans gonna swing by and talk with us?
And we'll have some veterans for people to visit with. We look forward to it
Fantastic.
All
once
right, so
again.
it's
We'll
Friday,
see you out there.
November the 11th, honor flights in Operation Thank You with News Radio KLBJ.